again, Vivaan. This video is for the Ballet Dancer, the next song on your book, page 13. And I think it overall sounded pretty good. Once you figured out the left hand, you were starting on the B flat with the left hand, but it actually starts on the A and then B flat. And if you reverse the order of that, it sounds a little bit strange. It doesn't sound like it should, and harmonically, it's not making much sense. So I'm so glad that you finally caught it. One thing I did notice about when you were practicing it was that your eyes were not really on the music. You were mostly looking at your hands, and you were trying to jog your memory how everything is supposed to go. You were looking at your fingers like, okay, I think this is right, and you started and you noticed it wasn't quite right, and then you finally figured out, oh yeah, it's actually that one. And that is okay, but it's actually better to just first look at your music, look at the it's almost like it also helps to first, I mean, you want to go to the music because that's where all your answer is. That's how you're supposed to play. You understand, you know how to read the music, so you will be able to figure out right there and then. And maybe it's because you may not have had the left hand note, the first fingering on it. Maybe that's why you weren't quite so sure how you were supposed to play. Well, you can make a note in your music on the Ballet Dancer page. The left hand, I don't know if I wrote it in your music, the left hand starts on middle finger on the A. So finger number 3 on the A is this one. Because your pinky is on the F, just like you were playing the last song, the Sunrise. Your pinky would be on the F, and then thumb, left hand, will be on the C, although you're not going to be playing the thumb on your left hand at all because the right hand is in charge of that C part. So yes, it is a slightly strange, well, actually no, is it strange hand position? No, not exactly, because you're quite used to having both thumb at the middle C. So it's basically that, throughout the book 1, the Easiest Piano Course book, part 1 book, you were used to having both thumb at the middle C, and everything went accordingly. Because of that, your right hand pinky was on the G, left hand pinky will be on the F. Now with this one, the only thing that changed is that instead of the B here, you're playing the B flat. So left hand will be in charge of these 5. And right hand is in charge of these 5. And just by changing that one note from B to the B flat, that put you in the F major tonality. F major scale sounds like this. And that's what, actually, it doesn't say on the Sunrise. Sunrise as a music was just to introduce you to the flat sign, and that was placed next to the B. There's a B flat in the Sunrise, and in the Ballet Dancer, that B flat is no longer written at every B that you're going to be playing, because there's quite a few. There are quite a few. So instead of that, they introduce you to the key signature. And I think there's a bubble in your page. It says when the flat or sharp sign appears next to the clef sign, it becomes a key signature. In this piece, all B's are flatted. It is in the key of F major. So F major. And the same thing with the Sunrise, except for it is not described, they don't put the key signature. They haven't introduced you to the key signature just yet on that page. So what is the key of F major? What does that mean? It means that your home note is the F. And the song will end on the F. Well, in this Ballet Dancer, it actually ends with an F on the right hand. Left hand is playing the A. It's not a really strong F. It is the home note. It is what you come back to. It is where the scale begins. The construction of the major scale starts on the F, and then there's actually, a theory book that you could. I wonder if actually I did give you the theory book, didn't I? It's not in that theory book just yet, but in the future, when you finish all of the 3 volumes of the theory book that I gave you, that you have the book 1, there's a book 2 and a book 3. After that, you go into a book called the Scale Speller, which means you'll learn how to write and construct your own major scale starting on any key of your piano. It could be, C major scale. And F major scale, just like this Ballet Dancer, starts on F. And that's all white keys except for the B, which becomes a B flat. So you have 1 flat in the key signature. Next one that you will be learning is a G major, which is in the sharp area. You have a F sharp. You have 1 sharp, which is the F sharp. And these are all similar sounding, note sequence. Because it follows a certain pattern, and it's all it's how the relationship from one note to the next one up, and it's a go up a whole step, go up a whole step, and then half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and half step. So it's consisting of 2 tetrachords, and then the next set tetrachord. And that's you will be learning that in the Scale Speller. So that's the whole idea of the key of something, the key of F major, the key of G major, the key of C major. If you don't have a flat or a sharp, it means that it is a key of C major. Like all of your songs that you did in the book 1, those were all mostly C major. Like that's the one, the Dvorak from the New World Symphony, the slow movement of that you play that in the earlier book, and that is it goes back to the C. It's a C major song, and I think the Princess Waltz was also a C major. I think the song ended on a C, so that's a C major song. Yes, I think the banjo picker was something else, and yes, the rickshaw may have been an F major also, but you didn't learn about the major sign and I mean the key of and then the key signature just yet in that book. So here you are. So this is a Ballet Dancer. So do look at your music before you start playing so that you are understanding everything that's on your page. Besides being able to play the correct notes and and play it without making a mistake, you do want to understand all that is written on your page. The treble clef, the bass clef, that. Now the new information is the 2 flats on the B, and the flat sign is put on the B line, where the bubble of the flat sign is. The line that goes through the middle of it is the note B. The left hand B actually is that low B, and then the right hand is on that high B. So you haven't learned. I don't think you've played some of those notes just yet. If it was written as a note, I don't think you would recognize it just yet. But that's actually the B. Is that, and then there's a flat sign on that. So you have the key the key signature, and then you have the time signature, the 3/4 time, which means you count in threes. It's every beat is a quarter note. That's the 4 down below, 3/4. There are 3 quarter notes in every beat, and you count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I know that you sort of understand that because you are playing it, but to be able to extract that much information from your music in front of you is also part of what you want to learn. And so I think you did very well throughout. You did not forget the B flat, except for maybe like one place at the bottom line. I think it was this one. After you had the right hand accidental and left hand key signature. So there is no flat on your music, but the B flat is in the key signature. So that is played with, that is another black key. And okay, so I was thinking you probably would need a metronome quite soon, but just not yet. You want to be able to play a little bit more smoothly and have a better idea before you start. So continue practicing. Let me I'll play once for you. Here we go. I will keep it rather slow. 2. And that's Ballet Dancer. Okay, I will follow up with the next video. I'll pause here.